Dr. Professor Rajaram Mani sir, please start.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, allow me to. Okay, recording is in progress. I will share now screen. Hopefully, all can see me. Very warm good morning to one and all. Sir, screen sharing is there. Okay. Okay. Fine. So, whether my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
Very good, very good. Okay, today we have enough time and a little bit relaxed. Yesterday I was busy, and before starting this session, I want to give good news to all of you researchers presently over here, and they will be future asset of this university. In the history of Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded, yesterday, one of our scholar, Dr. Balaji Ghule, has been selected as a postdoctoral fellow at UNIST, Korea. UNIST is the institute in Korea, one of the top ranking institutes whose ranking is about top 100 in the world, where our scholar has entered on his credit, on his achievements. And I want to again share one good news. Again, one point I want to share over here. His monthly salary is around 2.5 lakhs to 3 lakhs rupees. It is a really great achievement. You will ask me a question, in what terms that is great achievement? Our scholar is getting opportunity to work in internationally renowned, internationally acknowledged institutes. This is not because he is a scholar of SRT University. He based on his assets, based on his contributions, and based on his publications, he got selected in high-ranking institutes. Our students have high potential of hard work. Just they need some kind of heavy target, and I'm sure they can easily achieve target very soon, or they can easily achieve their target if we fix the target for them. Well, in today's talk, I'm going to present about academics, research, science, and many things. In 2020-21, world scientist and university rankings are declared. Here, what I want to tell you, from the India, from Asia, as well as from entire world, more than 11,000 universities are attested, and individual scientist has been recognized. In first two slides, we can clearly see when I joined in this university in 2010, first international conference was scheduled, and there were about 36 foreign scientists. It was great together. Professor Nimse was there, and visionary personality, Professor Yasai Patel, Professor Han were there. In scientist rank, I want to tell you, from the university ranking, my name is at the top. My ranking in university ranking is for 1. But I should not feel proud, or I should not feel, it is a proudness, but I can say, it is not thing that I can be broadcasted, that can be just showed to others, because at the same time, I should see the national ranking My national ranking is very close to 600, though I have top university ranking. My national ranking is within 500. This number is certainly not good for the as a researcher. I have to look at the how I can be the in top 100 scientists, or we can say top 50 scientists. For that, I need to do several efforts. So far, I have contributed so many things. In the second slide, I will tell you. So far, so yesterday I discussed what are the ways to be a researcher. You should have potential to write manuscript. You should have potential to write review article, book chapter, as well as editor, and so on. So far, three books or four books I have edited. Recently, we have edited with my, and what I want to tell you, all books, what we have written, what we have published, all are published by our scholars, and they are belong to SRT University Nanded. So our students have potential, they have skills, but they need to channelize their knowledge, skills, and excellence through their hard work. Automatically, they can achieve their goal, they can achieve career in short time if they follow these tracks. I'm editor on these different journals. Yesterday I told you, who am I? What I have been contributed. As you can see in first, we have three columns. First column, contribution in the terms of science and technology. Second column represents my social contribution. And third column represents award and recognition. If you have good humanity and if you have good scientific temperament, award and recognitions will follow you. If you are a good scientist and if you are not good human, then you may lose many things. Though you are good scientist and if you are not good professional, you may lose many things. So to be a good researcher, along with good researcher, you should be good human being and thorough scientist. Scientist is the field, or scientist is the person whose third eye should be always open. Look activities around you and watch why these activities are happening. What is reason for it doesn't mean that it is a scientific activity or it is scientific experiment. It may be social activity, it may be technological development, it may be industrial revolution, and so on. So your third eye, being scientist, should be always open. Now, recently, one we can say one serial is going on in Marathi, Sugandha Maticha. If you see that character, I don't remember that name of that character, but in any activity, she says something different. That actress, I don't remember her name, but if you I think on Colors, this serial is on. But if you see that character in every activity, she says something different. That is called scientist. Scientist is not something different. What we think he should be a long hair man. He should have dirty clothes all the time. He should be in the lab. No, your scientist nature should be alive everywhere, wherever you go. In community, you belong to that. So yesterday I discussed about, so far 16 students have completed PhD under my supervision. 6 are working there. My H index is 51. It is one of the top H index. Yesterday I discussed about H index, I-10 index, the citations, and so on. I have discussed all these things. Every year, our laboratory contributes for the social and economically backward student in terms of support for the examination, for support for their tuition fee, and so on. And I have a few awards, such as a Brainful Fellowship. It is one of the prestigious fellowship from the Korea, and so on. Okay. In this case, what I'm going, the research, the basics, challenges, science and technology, the global and Indian, you want to be global citizen. You should not be the Marathwada citizen, or you should not be only Maharashtrian citizen. You should expose yourself to the world. Automatically, your thinking level, or you can say thinking horizon, will increase. And so many things I'll discuss in detail in today's talk. Well, let us see here what we are basically. Science and technology for global welfare and self-reliant. World has developed, but what is benefit of India? If India is not developing, then how we can say we are in modern era? Earlier, before 2000 or before 2010, several scholars from Indian were abroad, or people used to prefer abroad because of lack of transparency. We can say barbing business, boot picking business, or we can say backbiting business. I will give some examples to you. Still, it is there, but with a transparent government, many things are. I can say at least 20 to 30 things are improved. 70% things are there. For example, we want to take the benefit of reservation. We want to take the benefit of community. We want to take the benefit of the we can say region and religion and so on. Does it really required? Earlier, what happened? Or earlier, what was happening? The positions or vacancies were large in number, and candidates, or we can say applicants, were in small number. As a result, everybody was getting the opportunity. But now, today, the candidate number of vacancies are less. Government has changed their policy. Study we have discussed in detail, and number of candidates are more. As a result, everybody want to have job. Everybody want to go for some kind of government facilities. But unfortunately, government cannot provide things, and slow by slow, government is going for privatization. Earlier, there was a pension. Then later on, DCPS come. Now government is going for contract basis and so on. So means, where are the permanent jobs? The concept of permanent has gone. So if you look at the development before 2000 in India and development after 2020 in India, it is a substantial change. IT sector in India has substantially or considerably enhanced. So we can say, along with the technology, human attitude also should change. Then only thing will change. Yeah. If you look at earlier Mumbai airport station, Hyderabad air station, railways, and we can say all things are now changed. Now, third point here, you can say economic growth in countries is directly attributed to science. Here, one point I want to tell you. Those who are not doing, those who are not contributing, government is not giving support to them. No support. Your research, you should be innovation-based. Your research should be idealistic. Your research should be productive. Then only people will appreciate you. People will support you economically. People will consider your contribution for publication in their journal. But if you just cut and paste, just if you show I am son of some kind of political leader, I'm someone of industrialist, so no chances there. I belong to this category, no chances there. So nowadays it get normalized, and only the preference to the quality is get preferred or is provided. Earlier it was not the case. Earlier, if I say I'm a son of industrialist, I'm son of politician, I'm son of some kind of inspector, so people we are looking in different angle. But now today, who you may be, from which category you may be, from which field you may be, If you don't have quality, people don't neglect it. People simply neglect you. So you want to stand in a market, you need to have the qualities in research and development. New science can lead to technology. Similarly, research can be stimulate science and technology. So our contribution, personal contribution should be better, and it should be, people should appreciate it accordingly. So this book is there. You can read book, so you can easily can say how technology is get progressed. Now, if you look at the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji at the midnight, he expressed his dream of science, and you will find that the BRC, Baba Atomic Research Center, Mumbai, at the same time, the National Chemical Laboratory, and so on. These institutes are started under the dynamic leadership of our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir. It is the science alone that can solve the problem of hunger and poverty. That time he recognized. When IT came in 1991, Rajiv Gandhi, Honorable Rajiv Gandhi, took lead to promote or to boost the IT in social area, in rural area as well. National property dependent and effective combination of three factors: technology, raw material, and capital. It means that we need to have technology. At the same time, we need to have raw material. There is one center at Hyderabad, AMD, the atomic minerals and that. So what they are doing? So they are digging land, and from the land, they are taking out stones. And from the stone, they are producing the uranium. So raw materials are important. If you look at their, you can say, the capital per annum is very high. The research inputs are very, very high. So always we think that we don't have facilities. We are not producing what we're expecting. For producing data, for producing output. If you show some, we can say in Marathi, there is one comment, we can say, not necessarily you should know everything, but the things which you know, it should be perfect and phase pure, clear. So that is essentially required. So we have to ask scientists, our science should be beneficial for society. Okay, so what things are happening here? If you look, now society is knowledge based. Because earlier it was what we used to believe. People were saying, okay, senior, we should follow seniors, but now it is not like that. The science of today is the technology for the tomorrow. You have to think how to solve the problem. Number of problems are. If you solve the one problem, we can say that 10 problems can generate. So you should not look at 10 problems, because second generation will solve that problem. You have to look the problem we have allowed to you. Investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Yesterday I told you clearly. Why you have to do research? Because the graduation, we can say 10 standard, 12 standard, graduation, master, PhD, and so on. If you have put up more knowledge, if you get more degrees, degrees doesn't mean knowledge. But if you go up and up, if you achieve the knowledge, the income will increase, though you may have degrees. Two people, they may have same degrees, but depends upon their knowledge, depends upon their exploration capacity, they get paid very high. If you look at the children are the world's most valuable resources. We have to respect children, and that is why the government of India has put up new scheme, KYP. The Atal Innovation Scheme and so on. Higher education institutes are national assets. So we have to respect them. Human resources are there. And whenever they are going further, so that will be beneficial for our society. Well, so we can clearly say that we have history, we have technology, we have youth generation. If you combine together, see, history can give you lesson how to be in future. Always we talk on the Shivaji Maharaj. We look at his management. We look at his humanity. We look at his power. So we can say so many examples are there. So whenever he was in front of his enemy, how he was behaving. When he was with his friends, how he was behaving. When he was with seniors, how he was behaving. So we have history. By using history and technology, we can be the global leader by taking help of the young generation. I'm sure of that. So that is what we can say, research. Exciting discoveries from the past. What is mean by research? Research is we can say, it is a new knowledge. We are not doing something new. If I want to do my research, then number of experiments are that people have done. It doesn't mean that they were not existing, but they have showed people new. In different fields, we can we can achieve the research. What is mean by development? Development should be systematic. As I told you yesterday, today, at the beginning of my talk, the Balaji Gule got selected in UNIST as a postdoctoral fellow. And he is the first person from university, our university last 25 years, who got directly selected as a postdoctoral fellow in UNIST. I would say in UNIST, SRT now entered. Nobody can stop our progress because we have that credentials, we have that potential, we have that kind of passion, and we can show to the people. So today Balaji Gule has gone over there. Why not you tomorrow? But for that, you should have credentials. If you say, I'm from Marathwada region, I'm economically backward. Hold on, please. So if you say, I'm economically, I'll take water, 1 minute. I'll take water, 1 minute, hold on. 1 minute, I'll take water, I'll join. So what I was telling you, if I say I'm from this region, please allow me to join, and please consider me. So people will not respect you. So in short, you should have credentials. Then only people will respect you. So you for going for job, you need to have all factors which are required. Research and development. Develop some kind of new knowledge. Along with new knowledge, your using previous knowledge. If you directly go for new knowledge, people may not accept it. People may not prefer, or people will not consider it immediately, because if you directly go the knowledge. So your next knowledge is the fundamental of first knowledge. It depends upon the first knowledge what you have. So no research is inferior. No research is superior. One point I want to tell you here. Always remember that success is not permanent. Or okay, success is simply can say, and failure is not permanent, and success is not forever. What I meant to say exactly. If you get failed several times, doesn't mean that all the times you will get failure. But once you win, doesn't mean that all the times you will win in all cases. No chances. So you have to believe on your efforts. And accordingly, you have to try for the development. So what I want to tell here in this case, here. So if you get failure, you may be temporary belief. Again, I will tell you here story of before 2 years. Everybody listen this story very carefully. When he completed his MPhil degree in the lab, he started private tuition classes at Nanded. It was his decision, but actually, as far as since here I am a little bit experienced in the field, I not opposed him because the money was his need, earning was his need. He has a family and so on. But that time, I honestly told him, by starting classes, you may get temporary success. You may get little money. The temporary job will not give you economy for long run. I will just hold on, please. Hello? Hello? I'm in class. Hello? I'm in class, please. Please, later. So what I want to tell here is if you become successful temporarily by taking tuition classes, by doing CHB lectureship, by doing contract lectureship, you make it temporary. You make it temporary stability. But in long run, that will be your failure. I'm not saying you should not do that. But you should, if you are researcher, 10%, 20% focus you can give on temporary job, but 80% your focus should be on research and development. And later on, after when he realized tuition is not his dream, he came back and he published very nice papers, manuscripts, research. As a result, he got selected. If he would be in tuition classes, he must have got little money or good money. But money is not the achievement only. Along with money, you should have personal satisfaction. You should have social satisfaction. Then you should have, we can say, economical satisfaction. All satisfaction can come only in research and only development. So when you go for job, it may be job of researcher, it may be a job of technologist, it may be a job of industrialist, it may be job of bureaucracy. But you need to have three things with you. One is the personal satisfaction. Second one is the social appreciation. And third one is the economical satisfaction. If you are on good chair and if you don't have economy, people will not respect you. And at the end, what we want to be we should be away from three things. And what are the three things we can say? Barbing, backbiting, and wood picking. We should be self-respecting. If you are a researcher, you will not feel you should go for barbing. You should go for corruption. You don't feel so because you are so honest to your work. Even though you wish you are going for barbing, your mind, your body will not allow you to do barbing. I mean to say corruption. Second one is called as wood picking. When you are a researcher, if you are contributing your research to society, self-confidence automatically comes in you. As a result, you will not blindly follow others, isn't it? So what actually I want to tell you, basically the researcher is he is self-motivated, self-respected. As a result, he will be away from the wood picking personality. And we have three things I told you: that barbing, wood picking, and backbiting. Because you are so backbiting in the sense whatever transparency whatever things you have in your mind, ourselves, other can easily. So don't. The researcher generally doesn't talk loosely. He talk confidently, and whatever knowledge he has, he is to present in front of others. So backbiting concept is not there. Here, all points are quoted in one line. Is an honest scientific investigation undertaken for the purpose of discovering new facts or establishing new relationship among facts already known, which will contribute to the present body to knowledge and can lead to effective solution of existing problems. How to go further? If I going in for one direction, then I should have some base. Your research can change the system, but provided that you should be happy on your research. And if you are not happy on your research, automatically you will feel that there is something you are losing. And when you will get happiness, you will get happiness only if you can understand your research. Research is elitist, exclusive, discriminatory as the highest level of outstanding quality. Excellence in research is high altitude, climbing or marathon running. It is not meant for all. So means if you are not passionate for the research, if you don't have hard working ability, if you are not transparent, if you are not self, if you are not loyal to yourself, you cannot do the research. So as I discussed earlier, for the researcher, you need to be transparent. You need to be honest to yourself. Most of the time I look in the laboratory, students are doing experiment. And if some results goes wrong, they manipulate that result. they manipulate their graph and they are showing to their professors or mentor. That is not cheating to your professor. It is cheating to yourself. So I recommend not to cheat yourself. Be transparent. Though you have wrong result, you try to understand why I got this wrong result. Whether there is a mistake, in performing experiment, or there is some reason that your experiment got wrong. Well, sorry. So if you understand it, that will be another evaluation. So many times you can have new experiments. One example I'm telling you. When once I was taking coffee in my laboratory, an experiment was going on. By mistake, the coffee cup, I took the water in coffee cup of that water into my experiment, and I found that reaction goes in one direction. Reaction is going there. Then, by curiosity, I perform experiment with sugar water, and I'm very proud to tell you that using sugar water as a solution, we can say we could able to produce the titanium oxide nanostructures. Those who are from science and science discipline, they can easily prepare at room temperature. Rutile, anatase, and glucite phases of titanium oxide is very difficult to produce, but we have produced that using the sugar solution or from tabletop sugar. Biologically has used the sugar on carbonization as graphene oxide, and he has developed a supercapacitor as energy storage devices. We have one scholar, Dr. Taba. She has used that tabletop sugar in catalyst, and she showed that 4-compound reaction can run very easily by using the carbonized sugar as graphene oxide or as a catalyst. So what I want to tell you here, in reality or in conclusion, research is not pre-planned. Sometimes it is pre-planned, but according to pre-plan, we cannot go forward. So many cross are there, so many experiences. We can say database is required, and we can accordingly we need to proceed for developing research. Okay, what this slide tells you, this slide is nothing but discovery, invention, and innovation. In one day, we cannot get the discovery. In one day, we cannot have invention. Now, difference between discovery and invention. What is that? Discovery is the coming from things that are already existing. The people we don't know, an invention. Already, there is a joke, if you remember. I will tell you the joke later on. An invention is something which has been created or somewhere in one class. I will tell you a little joke over there so that you can easily understand difference between invention and discovery. In class, the class of high school was going on, and there the teacher asked, do you know what is the difference between invention and discovery? And one scholar simply stood up, and he explained difference between the invention and discovery like this. My father discovered my mother, and both invented me. So from this event, you can easily understand what is invention and discovery. Invention is related to new product, new technology that have not been previously existing, whereas is a new term has come up. Is the transformation of creative ideas into useful applications by combining resources into new or unusual ways to provide value of society through improved products or technology or service. So innovation is directly technology based. Innovation is related to some kind of we can say utilization of your idea or technology. So you can call it as invention, discovery, invention, and innovation. Invention and innovation complete the circle of what. If you have invention and if you don't have innovation, then it may not able to, you cannot able to complete all things. Affordable innovation should be scalable. So we have a lot of ideas, but it should be ground-based. It should be fast as much as possible. It should be cost-effective, And we can say people should appreciate it. So many, you can say, telescope and small things are there, but people have made discovery clearly. Okay, if you look at from the uh, uh, ideation of success business in the startup world, there is no direct path to success. Means what? If I want to be successful in one day, I cannot become success. I cannot be entrepreneur. I cannot be businessman. I can. So, if businessman, you should be basically, see, two things are different. One is management. Management goes for businessman, and researcher is the idea-based researcher. Means industrialist, management, and researcher. These are the three pillars of society. You have to ask yourself what qualities you have. If you are students of management, then you have to look in this community, in this triangle, how I can play my role as a management, because management is essentially important. If you are the student of science and technology, how you can develop the things in the laboratory as a researcher. And if you are the we can say student of commerce, then we can easily think about how we can go for the business opportunity. So basically, you need to go in this in different directions going forward, or I can say you need to be plan for next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, so that you can produce results as per your expectation. If you try to be successful man in 1 or 2 years, it may not be easy for you to go in that direction, or it may not be easy for you to achieve desired target in 1 or 2 years. So as a result, you will come back, because with a high speed, if you go up, with the same speed, you will come down. But if you go slowly, you will stay at the top place for a long time. Top reasons: a startup failed. Adopted with permission means what? Most of the startups get failed. Doesn't mean that they are failed. No. So startup fails means for making business they fail. So there we need to require business opportunities they required. So that we need to highlight. Yesterday I told you, you have to identify area of your interest. You should understand next 50 years, about 30 years, what will be at top level? Top level will be, of course, energy. Purified water. When I was young, as like you people, this buying bottle of 20 rupees is nowadays common practice. But during our time, buying water, people would have laugh at you. Hey, you are buying the water. This you are something different. Society would have not accepted you. But today, everybody, small kid also buying the water of 20 rupees. For me, so what? Clean water is the need of future. Food packing is one of the high level industries there. And so many technologies are there. So if you develop technology to preserve food with the same nutritions, definitely you have very good future. I mean to say this direction is good for research and development. Environment is a critical issue. As you know that during a lockdown period, during COVID-19, the environment was highly cleaned from the, we can say Chandigarh. If you have seen the Chandigarh University, fortunately, I was fortunate to see that place very recently. And Himalaya rose were clearly seen from the Chandigarh, and it was the outcome of clean environment. If you have clean, because it is a need for tomorrow, oxygen, everybody knows that. But actually, what we require, being researcher, how I can contribute, what reasons are there to develop that kind of technology, we should know. So over the poverty, our system is very, again, I would say, because of this lockdown and because of this COVID pandemic, who suffered a lot? Whether the bureaucrats suffered a lot? No. Whether we can say government employees suffered a lot? No. So who suffered? We can say that the stall markets. So we can say shopkeepers, and we can say lawyers. Those businesses were stopped. Those businesses were, we can say, stuck. They suffered a lot, and as a result, they become, we can say, poorer and poorer. And what happens because of that? The we can say criminal attitude. Okay, attitude is increased because they don't have source for earning. And logically, if the person is if a person is not having source for earning, he's going for other direction. So it is a responsibility of authority. It is a responsibility of government. People should not go in wrong direction. So we are not talking on this issue, but we only see whenever 100 people become beggar, or when 100 whenever 100 people go below poverty line, nobody's talking about it. It is very surprising thing for me for our system, because nobody's talking about the poverty. So during the lockdown down, so forget about the cost of food and petrol and diesel and all things. But who is talking about food and shelter? So, but unfortunately, unfortunately, people are unnecessarily diverting our attention towards other attitudes, such as we can see if you look at the television news, you will come to know 90% television news are only on political issues or some kind of the issues happening, current burning issues. But nobody's talking about poverty, what is happening or presently in India. This is a serious issue of research and development, terrorism, as I pointed out, and war. This is again COVID comment forward. It has showed lesson to people. Money is not the supermost. And we can see that we would have seen during last 1.5 years, if situation comes forward, whether money is really useful, we understand the importance of money during last 100. So this is very important. And one very, very funny thing I have seen in this scenario, people are making business of it. Always remember, friends, always remember, don't do business with your friends, and don't use your friends for the business. Always remember. And what I found here, especially doctors, I'm not criticizing all, but most of doctors were really doing business. Those who were unable to test COVID-19, they also started their hospital saying that we test the COVID test. Just they are okay. So this is their job. But yeah, so the COVID-19 has become the place for business for doctors. What I found. Okay, education, of course, if you top the education improvement is essentially required. Now, focus on this point, education. Where is we are lacking in education? But last 20 years, there is substantial increment in there's substantial change in education policy. You have to have product in your case. So if you look the Western education, if you look the Eastern education, and if you look the Eastern education, especially Japan, Korea, the Taiwan, and so on. If you look at this education, their practice starts from graduation. For master, they have only experiment. Or I can say 50% experiment, but in our case, 90% only just a theoretical work and 10% experiment, and that is again duplication of previous work. So that will not help us to understand education. Democracy is a big issue because we cannot change it. Population is another big issue because to 230 people, 8 to 10 billion people will increase in in India. Okay, so pharmaceutical innovation is essentially required. There is a future for the vaccine required, preservation, their treatment is there, cure. So means all things are required. Essentially required. So we can say pharmaceutical science is one of the best fields so far today we have, and we are fortunate that the SRT University Nanded has a top class pharmacy school where about 500 scholars every year are coming. So means we have very good scope to develop in pharmaceutical innovation. We need to go because that biology, life science, and together for developing the class of that. Now we need that the 17 goals to transfer our world. So we need to have, again, you can see the 17 goals are there. So I will not read all these details, but if I see people hungry, or especially our region, very few people become rich. But why not all? If you look the bottom line, World Health Organization has mentioned that all need to be taken together, and the development should be sustainable. If one community is get developed and if others are not developed, then it means that our education, our research, and our policy somewhere is that. Now, fourth point is important for me. We can say it is a quality education. What does it mean by quality education? I would say I have quality education. Really, I have quality education? Now, can I stand globally based on my education? Answer is no. Do people respect my education? They may respect, but whether I get job on the education. So I will say here, I will focus on the fourth point. Though I have education, my education is certainly not sufficient to give me bread and butter. And I would say, I don't respect that education. Don't go to that education that will not give you job, that will not recognition, that will not give you knowledge. At the same time, that will not give you, we can say, personal satisfaction. Based on education, what you are taking, you need to be personal satisfaction, and gender equality is again important point. One point I observed while working in last 10 years in Swami Ramanand Tirthamara University, gender equality means what? If there is an injustice to the human, I mean to say man, how many women are coming forward? Very few, less than 10%. You will say. But if there is injustice on women, you will say that 90% gents are coming forward. Do you not think it is some gender inequality? So whenever there is a injustice on man as such, it may happen. Everybody knows that. So means we have to understand. We have to change our perspective. It may be man. I will tell you one story clearly. When I was in Oxford University, when I was in Korea, in the same lab, another lady was sleeping for the night. If this would be in Marathwada, this would be in India, this would be in Maharashtra. Next day, the paper news will come. Professor Ma was with one lady. So our mind is impure. We have to change the perspective of our mind. When we are saying gender equality, we have to respect ourselves. At the same time, we have to respect others too. And so many things are there. So we have to look at one. Of course, clean water is important. Here I'm going to explain you challenges to the researchers. Friends, you have so many challenges. Being researcher, nobody born researcher. And again, I'm giving you my personal example. You must have seen earlier. Actually, recently, before 2 days, Satara Diwali magazine. If you want to have that kind of that article, I will place on my homepage. This article is related to my research journey. This is related to first point. No one is a born researcher, but anyone with interest and commitment can become one, irrespective of circumstances and location. What I want to tell you here, in this Diwali, Satara magazine has published one article on my life, how I become a researcher, starting from my basic education to today's date. If you want, I will place that article on our homepage. After completing lecture, 1 hour, you can see that, you can read that article. I was not good researcher. When I was a 10th standard student or 11th, 12th student, I was having only 46% mark, or I can say 50. I will not go in detail of all, but as on today, or during BSc and MSc, I stood first in the merit list of Pune University. Why not you? My parents were farmer, and my parents were unable to recognize money. I'm from such a family, so why not you? I'm from village where we can say nobody. I was the first PhD holder of my village. My circumstances, whether it stopped me. Now, from my village, Dhonsev is in England. He's writing always Lokmat and Lok Satta. You must be reading all the times articles based on the COVID-19. He's from my village. So means whether and again for his case, Dhonsev, if you read the article from the Google, you'll find that he was not having his father. He was orphan, or basically he is orphan, and the person from such a poor family can become world scientist. Why not you? So environment, family background will not stop your research activities. If you make a plan, I want to be a researcher, you are only hardworking, passionate, transparency, honesty, loyalty, ethics will make you to decide. Until now, we have plucked all low-hanging fruits. Means what? You need just small things we are going to do. Don't be satisfied with small things. The most exciting and groundbreaking work is being done at the intersection of various fields. So if I can apply my knowledge interdisciplinary, that will gives me more happiness than what I have with my mind. Contemporary problems may not be amenable to single one. So we need group up together. And I want to tell you, as on today, I'm working with more than 75 scientists worldwide. Why not you? If you become part of it, you'll find, okay, so my problem is applicable here. I can solve the problem with the help of, now, for example, in simulation, interface kinetics, we are taking help of chemistry of Chaitanya. Why not you? If you become part of it, certainly, if you solve the problem and what happiness you will get, that is always some. But if you just to copy from others and if you publish it, you will not get that kind of happiness. So you have to solve, you have to try to solve the problem. Doesn't mean that the problem should be solved from your side, not required, but at least you should do the effort. Without doing efforts, it may not work. Collaboration is the key to solve the complex problems in science. No single man cannot do anything. Always remember, I'm a scientist. I have seen so many people in university, they are calling themselves as a big scientist. But if you look at index, if you look at their publications, I will not give you names. Few scientists got declared best research award. How many citations he has? 500. Whether he is a very high level scientist, by saying nobody can become scientist. Remember that. Right? If I say I'm big scientist, nobody will respect me. But if I prove on paper, okay, this person has done something new, people will appreciate it. People will write you back, and people will take your suggestions. Big science aiming to solve complex problems required. So LIGO is coming our laboratory, and my microfilm objects. So many things are changing the universities. So such collaborations, you need to have collaborations. I want to tell you benefit of collaboration. From our laboratory, last 5 years, more than 20 articles are published in paid journals. But all payment has come from Saudi Arabia and Korea. Our students has not for paying single article about $2,000 are required. From where we can buy this money? From where we can buy this money? Or from where I can take this money? Because we know our bureaucratic system. They're asking 1 rupee. If I ask them, sorry, I got some call from Mrs. Sir. I'm taking it. Sir, lecture मध्ये आहे. Lecture झाला करतो sir. हो sir. Lecture मध्ये आहे. Lecture झाला करतो. हो. Okay. Honorable VC was sorry for that. So what I want to tell you here, so many things are there. Such collaborations in different disciplines will make you to certainly. So in short, if you are a researcher, don't be isolated. Don't think you are a smart researcher. No, not required. If you publish high-level researcher, nature and science, and if you are part of that article, that is awesome in your life. That is something different in your life. So what I want to tell you, instead of publishing articles in small journal and become individual author, be a part of author, that article get published in Nature and Science. So publish in high-level articles, and you'll find that you get recognized by so many things. Collaboration requires subsuming individual ego is very important thing. You need to subsidize your ego to collective. When you are in collect, the foregoing selfish interest of recognition and credit for success and recognition that success depends upon the team winning, not the individuals. All the success depends upon the team. Always remember, as I give you example of King Shivaji Maharaj. When success was there, he was giving credit to all. But when failure was there, he was taking. I will give a second example to you. Abdul Kalam Sahab and the Dhonsev. The one. This actually when we launched nuclear test. The nuclear test was performed in 11th May 1919 and 13th May 1990. Whenever the first Apsara reactor was failed, that the operation was performed by the whole Sahab, and the second was the Abdul Kalam Sahab. But when the operation was failed, when Apsara reactor failed, that time Dhonsev, who was a senior to Abdul Kalam Sahab, Satish Dhawan, he came forward and he said, friends, it is my mistake that the here we can say reactor has not operated, or can say that missile has not been launched. When Apsara reactor was successful, that time he said, no, it is a success of my colleague, Dr. Abdul Kalamji. So these people are like this. They become great because of their attitude. They are giving credit to their success to others, and they are digesting failure of the event, or they are taking the responsibilities of failure to them directly. So we should be part of it. So don't be excited for the small success. At the same time, it doesn't mean that you should stop your success. Doesn't mean. But at the same time, when you get failure, don't be nervous for that, because failure and success is the life of the wave. As we in physics we can call it as a crust and trough. When you are you are crust, you are going to trough, and when you are in trough, you are going to get in trust. So what I'm to say, you have to change with life, and if one situation goes, another situation is going to come forward. Highs and lows of Indian science. We can say that our average is 29. We are youngest population, but we have to utilize this power. It is the main issue we have in front of us. Number of research publications in field of science and technology. If you look at the science, if you look at the China, USA, India, China publishes 5,25,000 per year. We can say that 20% of global market China has occupied. It is better than America as in today. India has 5%. When you want to compete with China, when you want to compete with criticizing, we cannot compete them. By saying they are something different, they are not good people, they are good human being. By saying that, we cannot compete them. We need to on paper. Yes, we have our number of publications or quality publications are higher as a result. Though I understand we have so many limitations, but your passion will not stop your limitations. Your passion will not block your limitations. Then we can say the number of researchers per 10,000 workforce. If you look at the India 4, Brazil 14, and China 18. So we need to have in future the quality researchers are required, expenditure required. Though our government, but now I want to tell you here, our government is providing considerable finance to the fruitful research, not duplicate, or we can say that routine research. If you have high level research, government, so many schemes are there that government is providing. The global 5 target key technologies in the future, we can say agriculture is a big technology, and we have startup in our university through the agriculture. If anybody have idea, our university will support you, because our MNI Maharashtra Innovation Society supports for starting the support for startups from our university. And here you can say that in India, in all cases, agriculture, biotechnology, nanotechnology, energy, defense, electronics, IT, and so on, mostly Japan and USA are at the top. Where we are? No way. By saying only we are, if they unfortunately or fortunately can say that there is no column of population, otherwise we would be tough, 100%. And there is because we are, whether we are for that only, no. We should have quality along with that. And then when we stand at least three markets in only 2 disciplines, we are tough. One is the agriculture. Unfortunately, it is a natural gift to us. And second is IT and software. Recently, aerospace also we are trying very hard, but we have to have a lot of investment is there. Year of production is the year of production of polymer. This is some kind of polymer production here. India has put up forward regarding the production of quality. I can say regarding the production of the polymers and some kind of other products. Other products are also there. Yeah. One example is taken as chemistry in India. So we can say that here onward, we can have number of publications are increasing. But if you see the graph, in India is getting stable, but the China is going up in year 2011 onwards. So we have to look along with quality. We need to maintain the quantity also. We need to have mass production also. Changing the pace of STI in India. We need to have the science and technology. If we need to change. Individual excellence we require, self-reliance we require. The technology, Daniel driven to science and technology. we have whatever research we do in the laboratory, we need to have technology for it. We need to have IP generation. We need to have, and our university, we are fortunate that our university has a special IP cell for that, and we used to support for the technology very easy. And we need to go for the global leadership. People have realized now. Jewels of Indian science, pre-independence period. So we say we don't have anything, but we have a lot of things are there. So many nice personalities are present. We have had so many nice, we can say, scientists over here. So we should be. They are mentor for us. They are idols for us. By considering them, we need to develop ourselves so that we can contribute something in future. None of these individuals were recipient of government funds for the research. Really, look at these people. Very interesting. Always our people shout, I don't have funds for research, doing researchers. One thing I want to tell you, in SRT University in Nanded, last 10
Wait for 2
Please
minutes.
wait 2 minutes. Yes, I think a network issue. कदम सर जॉईन झाले का सर? नेटवर्क मुळे बाहेर पडलेत.
सध्या जॉईन नाही झाली सर अजून तर.
ओके ओके, 1-2 मिनिटात जॉईन होतील.
Just 1 minute, I'll I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So, is it visible?
Yes, yes, sir. Continue, please.
I'm so apologies for delay or some kind of interruption in my lecture. So I was giving example to you about the Satish Dhawan Sahab and Abdul Kalam Sahab. So when I got a very good opportunity to interact with Abdul Kalam Sahab. So look at his honesty. Little knowledge will not help you, or if you keep ego with little knowledge, your progress will stop there. So don't have ego of knowledge and technology, whatever you have. You simply should say it is a gift of God, or it is gift of nature to you. And basically, if you develop it, then automatically, yeah, along with your knowledge, your fame and appreciation will increase. As in today, we have so many laboratories out there, and we should proud to Agni missile is the product of that laboratory. And so these people have so heavy contribution in their life. So the vision of political leaders like Sri Subramanianji, scientific leaders like MS Swaminathanji had led the first green revolution, enabling in produce over 200 million tons use of high yield variety seeds. So there are, it doesn't mean that all people are bad. So all researchers are bad. So you have to look at the good. So if I have the 100 people around me, I have to look with whom what I can take for the betterment of society, not for personal benefit. Automatically, if you work for the society, if you work for the others, your progress will automatically increase. Then here, West Maharashtra, we have a cooperative system. The Homi Baba established a TIFR, and then next branch of TIFR is establishing at Hyderabad, and we can say very nuclear power target already hit to 2030. We have power of 50,000 megawatt power from nature. So we can see these are the Indian origins. Always we criticize our own people. We don't respect our people. So first of all, I request you to we can say we should respect ourselves. We should have nationalism. If you look at the Eastern countries, Japan, Korea, I will the second example again. I will give to for the Japan and Korea. 1945, Japan destroyed completely. At the same time, the Korea is a country where we got independence at the same time, 15th August 1947. So, but if you look at the today, Korea, it is a small country having the size of Maharashtra. In 1970, the 50% population was dying. 50% population of Korea's population was dying due to hunger and starvation. Or you can say they don't have the natural product. Natural resources are very 0%. Everything they used to import. But today you can say that in every country they have Kia Motors. Kia Motor belong to Korea. Of course, I can say. So the Hyundai Motors, Kia Motors means with the hard work they show to people like we can become rich by only hard work and by giving the technology to the world. And today, especially the job receiving rate in Korea is the highest in the world. Nobody is jobless. So why not we? So we do have everything. Unfortunately, we can say mismanagement has lead us that our unemployment increased heavily. So it doesn't mean that we don't have facilities. We have infrastructure, and these are some kind of leaders of India. Kakurkar Saab recently visited Swami Ramananda University, and we can say these people are the basis for us. And these are the idol for Param computer developed by us, and that can be. Jane Narik also recently visited our university. He has given popular talk. So we are looking only at their success. We are not looking at their failure. We need to understand behind every success several efforts are there, and without looking at their hard work, and if you look only at their success, then we may not be the good personality as a researcher, or we cannot be a researcher. So when we want to research, these are some kind of products we have India by ourselves. We have our products are our own, and we are contributing ourselves in the way. We are still grappling with semantics, where we are only doing research at just a temporary or polished level. Basic research we are, fundamental research we are missing, blue key research we are missing, curious driven research we are doing, discovery research we are doing, introduction and incremental research we are doing, directed basic research we are doing. So means until and unless we are not focused on one issue, all in one and master of none, that should not happen. You select one topic, not necessarily how you should have 10 topics, but if you focus one topic, you should thoroughly involve that, and you should understand that concept. And finally, can say development is essentially required. The lack of precision in clarity on the nature of our enterprise. It indicates that whatever language we are using doesn't require you all the times you should use the English language. Not if you use a if you prefer basic science, and if you use a perfect language, that language will help you to understand it. Because if you look at the China and Korea and Japan, all programs are in their own language. That helps the young kids, because the growth of brain at the young age is very fast, and it is highly adaptive. So at that level, the country has developed all programs in their own language that is easy for them to understand. So recently, our country, India also has started this particular program. Okay, if we can really understand the problem, the answer will come out of it, because the answer is not separate from the problem. That's a very interesting point. What I want to tell here, when you take the problem for PhD, you should understand it. If you don't understand, don't go for problem. Discuss with your supervisor, discuss with your friends, discuss with your laboratory several times, and you understand what problem you have. We as scientists and engineers have to be part of discussion and have to be part of solution. So means if you don't understand the problem clearly, every weekly you discuss within your student, go for coffee or go for some kind. I'm not telling only this thing to you. Every Saturday here over the board, we may have students from our laboratory. Weekly, we by our own. We used to have a cup of tea together. We used to have breakfast together sometimes. As a result, with some kind of discussion, we come forward. And if a discussion is there, because in every group, if suppose people are coming together, means some conflict will obviously produce. But if you have discussion, these problems will be suppressed to some extent, because pros and cons are always there. So we can say some kind of ego. All things are always there. But if you solve the problem, things can be solved very easily. So you have to look at India's science and technology in the next resources will always lesser than demands of growing economy, because our economy is growing and resources will be limited. Then we can say government focus will remain limited to public health, water, because government has only interest on the human health, water, and sanitation, education. It cannot give all things in the economic sphere. Emphasis will be manufacturing industries. We need to go. These problems are there. Next decade, these issues are going to come forward. Funding for scientific research in public institutes will become more directed, even scared. In remember this thing. Those, if you join college, why I'm telling you, if you are passionate for the research, don't go for the local place, such as small colleges. Don't go, because government is not going to reserve funding for your research. And if your funding is stopped, how you will do research? And later on, you will say, I don't have funding for research. That is not good for your development, not for others' development. So I can say greater pressure to. Recently, we have a little pressure is there, but it also little improve that will. Once nation is get developed, automatically quality of life will also increase. As India aims to becoming $5 trillion economy by 2040, it is unlikely that the grid will keep pace in investment as 0% as percent of GDP. According to GDP, investment should be there, and that will help our nation to develop in forward direction. I mean to say, encouraging direction. Future of science funding. What really? If I become researcher, I will get funding from the university government. Very little. But my contribution should be high. I should be able to absorb funding from outside. The competing demands for public funding to meet the limitations need for society and meet social objectives. If I can do research for the social benefits, then only government will give me funding. Otherwise, no chance. Private funding of research will grow. They're from the individuals and volunteers, prizes and all. Here from private funding also, you should be able to bring the funding for your research. Consumers of research will become its funder. So if you produce something and if people appreciate it, they will be your funders for your next research and so on. What inside research and development choice again. This slide is important for you. So what I want to tell you. So you have taken topic for PhD. Just because something can be done does not mean that it will be or it should be done now. Just for sake of simplicity, don't join for research. Provide practical solution that will address future problem. So you have to give experimental some solution so that can understand if you are getting better performance or something you are doing different than others. We should not be wasting our resources on the solution while possible will never practice. So the things which are not practical, you should not spend your efforts in that direction. Research got of creating something if possible, or you can say evaluate both the technical and economical aspects of the technology development. So if I want to do something research, so according technical as well as economical things should come together. And otherwise, what will happen? Technical maybe there, but economy will go off. I cannot manage it. We should be second to none in the applications of advanced technology. How to remember always the triangle. If you go from the top side, the success becomes less. And at the same, if at bottom, at topper side, we can say we have very few people are there, but they are having high level. So whether you want at lower side, so many people are there, but their level is small. Whether you want to be part of upper triangle or lower triangle, you have to ask yourself. So that is what I want to tell you. So be a part of top part. Don't be part of lower part and be a successful researcher. Marshall Saab has given some introduction about his work, and of course everybody knows about Marshall Saab winning awards and all things are there. So definitely, if we can keep the ideal of these people like this, it will be good one. So many achievements are there. These are Indian people. They have done a lot of things are there. Anand Karve, Ramarao. So these are our people. They have contributed heavily abroad. And definitely we are respecting if somebody shines outside. When they are inside, we never used to respect him or her. So we have to respect our people first. Automatically people will follow you. So this is a recent by the GD Yadav Sahab. Actually, if you have time, so how I become researcher. So if you get time, please read that. He also mentioned that versatility and humility is during research life. So many highly efficient, low-cost, novel multi-component nanosystem for rapid remediation of circulating tumor cells have been developed by Indian scientists. So these articles are get published. So published you can have time. So they have so many things are there. These are some few articles which are published by our local people, but they got some kind of achievement, attributes of the scholar. So what qualities you should have? It's a very interesting slide for you, all of you. You should have these qualities. Means what? Your mind should be analytical type, intellectual curiosity should have. You should be focused on personality. Some use concentration in how you should be determined. In the sense, you want to do it, should be dedicated 50% here, the part-time lecturer, CHB job. That will not help you to be a researcher. Frankly, I'm telling you, little bit you will get happiness. People are calling me sir. No, that will not give you happiness for a long time as a researcher. So here you need to. I recommend you if you can take this photo shot of the screen that will be helpful to you. The key you should have these things. You should, and if you don't have that, this is again flexibility. So you should not be arrogant or adamant. I have seen so many self-declared scientists. Yeah, when they are come on that there is no scientist in the world as like them, but in reality, what contribution you have in society, they will respect that contribution, not a person or from or not country from where person is there. So you should have this kind of things with you. Degrees, programs, course with the differences. So our degrees are missing a lot of things. Ambitious degree program. So means our degree if you have some kind of credentials, conceptual understanding, then it will help to you. Always we think that I have published a book 10 years before. But what is today's contest? You have to look at the today's point rather than going for old point. Qualities of researcher. Again, the same point coming forward. Imagination. You should be enthusiastic. You should be patient. You should not fight immediately. You should have faith on yourself as well as your laboratory. You should be persistence. You should have courage. Confidence should be there. Common sense should be there. When to talk what. That is very important for you. Again, honesty, modesty, these things you should have with you to be great personality in life. So PhD. Don't think PhD is only your degree. Degree is a basic for it. It is just a small point to learn something. But it is the beginning of your career, ability to integrate skills and knowledge. PhD means what? You are trying to get skill, basic understanding, ability to design hypothesis, plan, and experiment procedure to get result, ability to interpret the results and realization them in the context of hypothesis. What your hypothesis you are doing some kind of experiment to get a realization of that hypothesis, ability to share results and their interpretation in terms of scientific communication as a paper or journal. Path forward again. So you should have some kind of clear concept should be clear. Purpose. If you have something concept, you should share with your friends. Share vision with your friends or discuss with your guide or supervisor. Integrating curriculum in curriculum. Try to have some kind of research, quality research. Then publication should be necessary but not sufficient. Means you should have publication, but it should not be number of publication, but one or self-clear. Topic should be profound, significant, even though it should be event and you can say discipline. You should understand topic what you have taken. Research to innovation, revenue. So your research should generate revenue for society. It should be cooperative and not competition. So in the sense, it should be competitive, but at the same time, it should be cooperative. This points your sister should audit a call of action. What you require, what we want you to do is very simple formula to be successful. Success formula. Success formula is believe yourself. You cannot be successful man. Successful researcher. Each one of you has life to live. Why not do significant things in the life? Work on high level problem. Think globally and act locally. Out of India. Stay completely committed. So if once I tell you, so most of times this is happening in our education system. When your program is at 10 o'clock, the president comes at 11:30 o'clock. It's not fair. So commitment is 10:15 means 10:15 you should be at right place wherever you committed. Why not you are not maintaining your commitment? So you should be committed. Then you will acquire that kind of feeling in your body. As okay, I should be there. Though whether others are not there, others are there or not. So means you should be highly committed, and whatever you do, hold on tight. So whatever you work, you believe on that consider. So always this kind of competition, you can easily see that grouping together, you can win the world. Right action, cooperation, different issues, different. If you are the partner of different communities, definitely you will be successful man in your life. Object is to create world class instrument. So if I can contribute, I can go forward. ICER is one of the idea which is developed in our India. So many ICERs are there. So you can be part of this ICER. No, doesn't require you should be member of ICER. But if you can part of you can easily understand what they are doing. What they are doing in their system. As a result, we can say that now it is the only research institute for the graduate and postgraduate students coming in the future. There's so many ICERs, 14 ICERs are already started. Few are on the way of start. So if you become part of ICER, definitely you can learn. So what is concluding remark? Concluding remark is that aim for research which is a disruptive, profound, and insightful. That should give you what you are doing for the future. Challenging. Your research should be challenging, but at the same time rewarding and satisfying. You should your research should be rewardable, and it should keep you satisfied. Opportunity to contribute to the world. I can contribute my research for the development of future, or for other people also. Indians who are senior, we have so many things are there, but we can able to cross it, and we can develop our research very soon. So this is the way what we can develop very easily, and we can come forward very effectively. So I would say thank you very much for the talk, and thank you very much for attendance here. In today's talk, I have given some kind of advanced information about the research, how we can go forward, what qualities a researcher should have, and secondly, what things we can take you front line so that you can be a good researcher in the future. So kindly allow me to stop here. If you have any questions, please do welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sir,
Yes, any question from student side?
am I audible? Yes.
Yes, yes, sir. Any question from student side? Yes. Fatveji, ask your question.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes. Yes, sir. You are audible. Yes.
So, what are the funding option available for the research at SRTMU?
Actually, if you are college teacher, actually we have minor research projects are there for college teachers. This is one thing what I know, especially from our university concern. Besides that, you can have funding for the, if you are the scholar, then there are some fellowships are there, such as a Kotari fellowship is there, Rajiv Gandhi fellowship is there. Then recently started a fellowship by the Maharashtra government. Sarthi fellowship is there, and these fellowships are they directly pay you about 30 to 35,000 rupees, and from that you can easily perform the experiment. As far as faculty concerned, UGC, CSIR, they are, but actually initially they will give less amount. But our university has funding minor research project up to 2 to 3 lakhs rupees. Our university used to give for every researcher. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Chauhan Ramesh ji. Chauhan Ramesh.
नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार सर.
सर आम्ही आता जिल्हा परिषदला माध्यमिक शिक्षक म्हणून कार्यरत आहोत जिल्हा परिषदला. तर आम्हाला काही तसे फंडिंगचे ऑप्शन्स आहेत का विद्यापीठामध्ये?
ऍक्च्युली माध्यमिक शिक्षक पण, परंतु नाही, माध्यमिक शिक्षकांना आपल्याकडे मिळतं, पण दुसरा मार्ग येतो MCED मध्ये आपल्याला अवेलेबल होऊ शकतो. ऍक्च्युली आपले डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर येळणे आहेत, येळणे सरांच्या कॉन्टॅक्ट मध्ये ती एजन्सी आहे MCED. इफ यू गो थ्रू दॅट, propose the proposal, they have this very strong support for us. कलेक्टर ऑफिस जे महाराष्ट्र शासनाचं MCED प्रो सेंटर आहे, तिथून हे आपल्याला प्रोजेक्ट मिळू शकतात. तिथं ते आपलं सपोर्ट
आपल्याला होऊ शकेल.
हो, आपलं सपोर्टिंग आहे. महाराष्ट्र गव्हर्नमेंटचे प्रोजेक्ट आहेत, विद्यापीठाकडून ऍज सच ते मिळणार नाही, परंतु MCED कडून अवेलेबल आहेत. तिथे जिल्हा उद्योग केंद्र, त्याच्यातून आपले असे प्रोजेक्ट आपल्याला राबवता येतात. किंवा ऍक्च्युली जे हे आपले परदेशी साहेब आहेत, हे ऍडिशनल कलेक्टर, त्यांच्याकडे अशा स्कीम्स आहेत ऑलरेडी. सध्या आम्ही एक स्कीम लॉन्च केलेली आहे की नांदेड जिल्ह्यातील किल्ले संवर्धन आणि विकास. लाईक दिस वी कॅन, दे हॅव सम काइंड ऑफ प्रोव्हिजन टू डेव्हलप सच थिंग्स, सो दॅट अकॉर्डिंग दे कॅन प्रोव्हाइड द फंडिंग. विद्यापीठाकडून किंवा गव्हर्नमेंट इन्स्टिट्यूटकडून डायरेक्ट नाही, पण मिनिस्ट्रीमध्ये काही प्रोव्हिजन्स असतात. म्हणजे जे सेंट्रल मिनिस्ट्री असते, there we have provision for high school teacher also, but we need to apply for, we need to put a proposal for it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, sir.
Yes, Santosh ji.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, very good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, please.
Yeah, sir. What exactly the role of hypothesis in the research? Because I'm though I'm trying to understand it, but I'm not able to Is it really require hypothesis? I mean, can you just explain in a layman's language?
Okay. So what is mean by hypothesis? Hypothesis in the sense ki, if suppose I do some kind of experiment, I have some plan of doing research, or if I am in any field, commerce, management, so I will draw one line. It is like a share market, you know. A share market, where it will go, we are doing some kind of prediction, and whether this actual line is following it or not.
Okay.
So prediction is the hypothesis, and whether your experiment is going accordingly or not, it is actual experiment. Sometimes it may go up, sometimes it may come down, and we are trying to analyze it later on. Why my hypothesis? Whether my expectation, whether my experiment is going as per hypothesis. If it is going upside, I mean to say, if it is showing better performance, I should understand why it is showing. If it is showing negative performance, I should understand why it's showing. If you can explain mechanically or kinetically, that is not a scientific reason. That is called as scientific causes. So hypothesis is something imaginary, and the causes are get supported by your experiment. So hypothesis is something like initial imagination is hypothesis, and hypothesis is a function of your expertise what you have. तो तुमचा अनुभव किती आहे त्याच्यावरती hypothesis दिशा ठरते. जर अनुभव नसेल तर तुम्ही तुमच्या तेवढे एलिजिबिलिटीला जात नाही.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, understood.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Anyone or other students, other researcher, please raise your hand. Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. Nicely explained. You have each and every concept of research, characteristics of researcher, and all things. Thank you very much once and again.
Thank you very much. And today, excuse me, 1 minute I will take. Today only, I will place article published in local newspaper on our homepage. I request you to read the article if you haven't done. It is an article based on my entire academic development. I request all of you to read the article on homepage. If you type on Google Rajaram Mane, you will find our homepage. Google's cover top side is homepage. If you click on homepage, you will find this article. Please read it if you have time. I request all of you to read this article during your free time, please.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Hera. See you very soon. Thank you very much. Have a good time, all of you. Thank you, sir.